Coordinator, John Haycock. John, could you introduce the two defensive players you brought with you?
I'd love to. The guy to my immediate left, starting outside, Sam linebacker, senior Willie Harvey, and next to Willie is our starting corner, senior corner, Brian Peavy.
Also joining us, quarterback coach Joe Gordon. If you could, Coach, introduce your players.
Sure. Got Akeem Butler right here, starting next receiver, and our starting running back, David Montgomery.
Thank you. Coach Haycock, could you give us an update of how the week's going and what your preparation for the game are like?
Well, I think first and foremost, it would be remiss to not thank, the Alamo Bowl committee, the people here in this town, the city. It's been an outstanding opportunity. Alamo Heights, our host for practice. Everybody has just really, truly been first class. And I know on behalf of all of our staff, very appreciative of all of that. Practice has gone well. We started out with our Tuesday practice and worked our way through the day and through the week, and our guys have worked really hard.
Thank you. Raise your hand, please, and we'll go around in the front row.
Coach Haycock, you guys have already faced 4 of the top 11 passing offenses in the country. Now you get a 5th with the number 1 passing offense. How do they compare or contrast to other air raids you guys have faced this year?
Well, I think first of all, I think this offense is different than anybody really that we've played. I think the quarterback, obviously, well documented, going to be first-round draft choice, tremendous player, tailback, tremendous player. And I just think it's a different offense, and I don't, unless you would just really view and see all the games, it is very different. They force you to do different things. We'll have to do some different things. And, I think it helps us, in honesty, because we have seen parts of it. We have not seen all of it like you see with, Coach Leach's offense.
Question front, Jay.
Coach Gordon, how has the offense evolved throughout the season?
Well, I mean, it's been a work in progress. We've had new guys step in new roles, all year long, and played with a couple different quarterbacks, played with a good group of running backs. We've had a bunch of wide receivers step up and do different things, some new guys at the tight end position. And it's really just been 1 week at a time, getting through an injury, here or there at a position and going one week at a time and figuring out who's ready to step up that week to try to help us win a game. And there's been a lot of guys that have proved that they could do that.
What is it about your offense that makes it be able to have success when you have injuries or just different quarterbacks? Because you've lost David, you've been through a couple of different quarterbacks, all that type of stuff.
Well, having some depth for sure. I mean, we've got a great group of running backs in that room, and Coach Shieldhouse has done a great job of getting, Johnny Lang and Kane Nwangu ready to go when their number has been needed to be called. The same could be said, in the wide receiver room with Coach Gasser and Coach Golish in the tight end room. And our offensive line we've had some guys that didn't have a lot of experience coming into the year, and we've had some injuries there as well. So it's been a group effort. Our coaches have tried to do as much as we can 1 week at a time to get the guys that are healthy ready to go, and our coaches have done a really good job with that.
Willie, how does your mission on Saturday or Friday differ from the mission you guys succeeded in facing West Virginia?
Obviously, like Coach said, their offense is like no other, but they can be stopped, but we're going to take it like it's a regular game. We're going to approach it the same way.
Let me ask Brian the same question.
Can you put the microphone, please?
I ask Brian the same question, please.
Can you repeat the question, please?
How is this different than West Virginia?
Oh, man, I'm just going to piggyback off what they said. Like you said, another air raid offense, but different personnels and guys that can make plays all over the field. One thing Coach Haycock told us is our easiest day was yesterday, and we'll approach the game as such.
Coach Haycock, how would you describe the perfect Cyclone defender, like the attributes you would look for if you could construct just what you're looking for in a defensive player?
Well, there's a dandy. Well, I think these two guys sitting next to me would probably be a good way to start. I think our guys, and I guess I would just talk about our group as a whole. You know, I think our guys, I think what we do is one thing. I think how our guys do stuff is what is different in my 35 years. I think it's built on trust amongst the players. I think these guys truly care about each other. I think our unit is different and such, and I guess I can speak because I've been doing this 35 years. I think our room is different from the standpoint that they really truly care about one another. They hold one another accountable. Our staff, defensive staff, cares about each other. They care about those kids, giving them opportunity to have success. We practice extremely hard. We prepare extremely hard. So I think if I were starting to build one of our perfect defenders, it would be based on how they do the things, not what we do schematically. And I think that's where I would approach what I think are these guys have led as leaders. Tremendous work habits, tremendous practice habits. Like I said, and they truly care about each other, and our coaches care about them, and they care about us. And I think it's more of the how that you would build that group, that guy.
We'll go next question up front, and those listening online, we're using hashtag Valera Alamo Bowl, and we'll ask a couple via social media up front.
Coach Gordon, since Brock, took over against Oklahoma State, where's his biggest progress in those 8 games? And I know Coach Campbell a lot of times likes to use the bowl as kind of also a springboard. Where's his next step going into the spring?
Man, we'll worry about the spring, I guess, when we get out of this game. But, he's gotten to the point where there's play calls that he's heard, there's experiences that he's had in games now, going for, most of the year. And going into that first game, he didn't have any of that. So just the opportunity to have some kind of comfort level, getting some experience has been huge for him. And, he hasn't been perfect. He's been pretty good, but just continuing to learn about the offense and learn about defense. He'll continue to go down that road when we get to spring practice, and I think he'll continue to improve.
John Walters with the Cyclone Radio Network. Willie and Brian, could you each answer on this, specific to this question? Just what's it been like to, as redshirt freshmen, go through 2-10, 0-9, go through 2 3-9s, and now see the success that this program's having, chance to win 17 games over back-to-back seasons for the first time in school history. Can you kind of put it in perspective just how special this time is right now for Cyclone football?
I started. Oh, yeah. It's very big for Cyclone Nation. All the support they gave us through those 2-win seasons, 3-win seasons, and to basically give back to our community. Like I said, Iowa State has been there through the ups and downs, and it's actually big for this program, not only us, to actually see the reap of what we put in, and to see the fruit of our labor. And it's perfect how Coach Campbell came in with trust the process, and you can see it in our journey and how our process went. So,
Thank you, Brian. Could you add your perspective, Willie?
Yes, just to piggyback off of what just to piggyback off of what he said. We owed everything to Cyclone Nation. They've been with us through 2 and 3-win seasons, and not so much the wins, but just the fact that Coach Campbell came in here and he really changed the process, and it changed the way we thought as players. And it changed my life forever, because after my second year, I really was done with football. So,
I was just going to ask a follow-up, if that's okay. Quick follow-up, just for Coach Haycock. Can you kind of put in perspective the resiliency of these two guys next to you and what that's meant for your program and the ability to have the kind of success that you're having?
Well, and I think a part of that goes back to the question that was asked earlier, is how do you build that person? And I think it's all of these guys. I think it's David and Akeem and Willie and Brian. I think it's built. I think watching them change work habits and lifestyles, and they were part of that. They were the ones that did it. There wasn't coaches involved. This is player-driven. We're blessed to reap some of those benefits as a coach, but our players changed what's going on in our program. We gave them some leadership, some guidelines, but these guys did it. It wasn't me on defense or coaches. It was players, and they led with love in their hearts and work habits and perseverance and all the things that it takes when things aren't going good. And that's when you really measure what kind of people they are. And that's why you're looking at where we are today, is because of the kind of people that they are. Very talented on the football field, winning in the dark. What these guys have done and the rest of this football team is based on what happens outside those lines that you all see.
Front.
Coach Haycock, we talked to Jaquan Bailey the other day, and he was talking about the growth that he's seen in himself and being able to recognize schemes and tendencies of opposition. And I guess with him being 1 sack away from the school record, what kinds of growth have you seen him make on the field, but also just kind of the understanding of schemes and kind of being able to be a part of the defense and do his job?
Well, I think tremendous growth, but I think, again, it goes back to the same thing. I think what these guys have brought forth, I think our seniors and underclassmen that bought into preparing to win, and that process that is really hard. It's hard for adults, it's hard for a coach, it's hard for all of us in this room to follow a process, and when things aren't going good, keep following the same process. These guys did, and he has done that through leadership of our seniors, and he bought into it, and he changed his world, in all honesty, and how he plays and how he prepares, and it isn't by accident. I mean, those guys have worked really, really hard.
Jay, front, green.
Brian, looking back on those early years, those first couple of seasons when you were going back through those tough times, now that you've had some time to reflect, how difficult were those first couple of seasons?
Oh yeah, just reflecting, I would say it's very difficult. I've been a young guy, entering college, and really not knowing what the process was. You just know the culture that you're in, and I think my hardest thing was, I mean, how do you get out of it? Because I'm a guy that I'm new to it, and this is all I know. So how do you get those wins and overcome adversity? These are things I didn't know, and it took years. And now that I'm reflecting on it, I would say that was the biggest challenge. Just basically learning how to trust the process and how to believe in yourself.
Randy.
David, what role can the offense take in helping out your defense stop the best passer or slow down the best passer in the country?
We're just going to continue to do what we try to do every Saturday, is just going out and playing as a full offense and being able to make plays and taking the small plays and making the most out of them. The defense, I'm 100% sure that they'll do their job and they'll do what they need to be done for the proper moment. So we're excited to see what happens, and we all prepared the same way. We've been preparing to go forward the right way. So we're just happy to see what happens.
John, let me ask you the same thing. What role can your offense do in helping you guys combat this offense of Washington State?
Again, I guess I show my age sometimes. I've been around a long time, and I've always said we play the best defense when we're standing on the side. My calls are a lot better. You know what I mean? I'm really smart when our guys are over there behind the bench. So that's important. And our offense, I think the blessing for us has been we've been a team. Our offense has helped us, our defense has helped us, our special teams has helped us, and we're going to have to help each other again on Friday night. That's the only way we know how to have success. And again, we're playing the best defense when we can play. We're error-free over there when we're standing, them guys are behind me. So they'll help us. We have to help them. And I've always said you have a great defense. When your team needs you most, you got to be able to play defense. And that's what we've been working hard to do.
Hakeem and David, how has the bowl experience, how has it been different this year from the way it felt this time last year?
The experience is definitely different being in two different places. I think the mentality is the same, though, as far as what we're trying to do, trying to handle the task at hand, and having to prepare for another big moment, for a large stepping stone for our team and for this program. So, yeah, the environment's different. It's a lot. The weather's way better here, and, we actually get scooters here, too, so it's pretty cool. But the mentality is the same, as far as where we're trying to go and where we're trying to take the program.
Thank you, David. Hakeem?
I would say that it is very different being in two different places, of course. Last year was a lot of people's first bowl game, and, we didn't really understand the experience. But, we experienced it, we handled it, and we came out with the victory. And this year we know how to prepare, know how to take care of ourselves, and we're just enjoying ourselves, getting ready for the game.
Brian, you've got nothing to lose. This is your last game. Tell me something about John that nobody knows. Remember, you got nothing to lose here, so.
Man.
Playing time yet? The game ain't yet.
right. That's a setup question. Oh man. I mean, I would say the wisdom piece, man. That's a guy that can tell you about your life before you even live it. I mean, he's helped me with decisions that I didn't know where to turn to, you know. And like I said, there's a guy with experience, of guys that know how to lead you down the right path. And I guess many of you guys may not know that, but if you look at our defense, statistically, we've made turnover margin changes. We pursue to the ball. So if you could just look at his coaching, you can see what kind of man he is right there. So,
Willie, what about you? What's he, you know, he's Mr. Cool, calm, and collected up here. What's he like on the practice field?
I would just say he doesn't let you settle for less. He just wants you to get to your full potential, and that's something I learned from Coach and something I really appreciate because before it wasn't like that. But you really can tell he loves and supports everything you do. But he wants you to give your all, and he's going to get the best out of you every day. So,
David, you talked a little bit about taking the program to the next level. What's that look like, and I guess what's the ceiling for this program moving forward?
Yeah, I think if we continue to prepare the way we prepare and we sacrifice as much as we sacrifice and more, the ceiling is, untouchable. I feel like it's high, So I feel like if we, as a team and as a family, because I think a lot of people get that confused, that a team and a family, but this is a family. Like Hakeem is my brother, Willie and PV are my brothers as well. So I think that being what it is will definitely help us in the future raise the bar, because that's always what the plan is trying to get better as football players and individuals.
For Hakeem and Brian, thousands of Cyclone fans are arriving as we speak. I know this is a frequent topic, but could you just speak what it means to have the support and the San Antonio takeover from Cyclone fans that's expected here this week?
Oh yeah, that's Cyclone Nation. Definitely known to travel. Like I said before, we're doing this for our community. They believed in us when we were nothing, and we're here to serve them now. So yeah, you'll see red and gold all over San Antonio this weekend. So
Thank you, Brian. Hakeem, did you have a comment?
Yeah, like I said before, Cyclones, they've been with us, like you said, through 3 and 9, and they've been waiting a long time to, travel and get to see a bowl game. And last year it was pretty cold, and so this year, better weather. The turnout, nobody knows what's coming, really.
Any final questions? Thank you. We get coaches.